Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Shellbell VSG here, and I'm coming to you on my 1 month Surgiversary. I'm not going to do the numbers for you today because I just did them a couple days ago, and I kind of try and only weigh myself once a week. I did kind of hop on the scale just to see, and I was only down like I think zero point 0.4 from the other day. I don't really expect I'm going to see much of a weight loss this week because I did just move into soft foods. And I know people generally see kind of a stall, which I'm totally cool with. I'm excited to be eating soft foods, and frankly, I'm really happy with where I'm at and where I'm going. So if I if I don't see any kind of loss or whatever, I'm cool with that. But anyway, like I said, I just did the numbers a couple days ago, not going to do the numbers. What I do want to do, excuse me, this video is I want to focus on some things that were really instrumental and super useful for me in my first month. So that if there's anybody who's going into surgery or just had surgery, watching this, they might find some things that are useful for them. And then I kind of want to cover some non-scale victories, some NSVs that I had been writing down over the last month that I haven't mentioned or anything. So that's why I've got my glasses on. And yeah, so just kind of do that stuff. So really quick, let's just go into some stuff. Now, I did do a video that showed a bunch of stuff that I had purchased prior to surgery, and so now we're going to go back and see which of those things ended up being really useful so far. Some of them did, and then I found some other things in my kitchen that I just had here that ended up being really useful. So, so far, items that I've used in the past month that turned out to be really useful. My friend had lent me these tiny little measuring cups. The biggest one goes up to 2 ounces. These were super helpful, and I did look them up. You can get them on Amazon. They're the OXO brand. They're a whole little set. The smallest one is 1 teaspoon. These were very useful in the very beginning when I was trying to drink and I could only drink about 1 ounce at a time. I would just have like a water bottle or tea or broth or something in a bigger container. I would pour it into this one, which is the 1 ounce, and sip from there. And then they were very useful because I had to take a liquid medication, liquid carafate, and it was a 10 ml serving. I would just pour it into there and then rinse it out. Super useful. I used these right up until this past Monday because that was the last day that I had to take the carafate regularly. And you know, these are just great too to have around for cooking or whatever. I highly would recommend these for anybody who's going to be on liquid meds, and they were very useful in the beginning stages when I was sipping the liquid, so that first week. Totally instrumental. I used them, like I said, right up until this past Monday. Along those lines, my mom lent me this tiny measuring cup. This goes up to 1 cup. This was really helpful also in the beginning. My sleeve really liked warm liquids, so in the beginning I was drinking a lot of broth. That felt better for me than cold liquids, and this was just nice because it wasn't a giant thing that I had to heat up. Even, you know, my standard size one that I have, I think, is 2 cups, but even that was when you're only drinking 1 ounce or 2 at a time. That seems like a lot. This is great. It was just nice to heat up. A lot of my mugs would get too hot to hold on to, and so I could just heat up a little and pour it into something else. I just found it really useful. Oftentimes I would heat stuff up in here and then pour it into here to drink. So that was a nice one. I don't know where she got it. I've sort of pilfered it, but I know she probably wants it back. My dad uses it to make, I think, gravies and stuff like that. So that was useful. And then I had this, which I know a lot of people have, your immersion blenders. So this is the Cuisinart stainless steel hand blender. My sister-in-law had given it to me a year or 2 ago for, I think, my birthday or Christmas, because I like to make gazpacho or butternut squash soup and stuff like that, and it's really great for blending in the soups. What I discovered that I had never used before was it has this attachment which is like their food processor or chopping. I don't really know, but this attachment, which you just stick it on like this, was the best pureer in the entire world. I have a mini, I guess, Cuisinart food processor that didn't puree at all. And then I had a great Ninja blender that broke probably a week and a half before surgery. And then I wanted to get, you know, now I can't, the Vitamix, but then, you know, those are extremely expensive, and I had a friend looking into getting me a discount on one and blah, blah, but then surgery came. So I just tried this out one day because I couldn't get anything to blend properly in my mini food processor, and this was amazing. So this pureed things, for my puree stage, everything had to be run through a food processor, and everything had to be the consistency of like a mashed potato. This was perfect. I highly recommend the Cuisinart. They call this the 16-ounce chopper and whisk attachment. You can put it in the dishwasher. I just never did. It just comes apart like this. The blade comes right out. It was the best puree thing ever. Super great. And then along those lines, I had this, you know, little mini spatula that I've used a million times. It's all melty and everything here. It's just a plain mini spatula. It was just really good for doing that. This thing pureed everything. I am in love with this puree thing. So that was very great. I highly recommend that Cuisinart hand blender with that attachment. I used it 3 times a day for the whole puree phase. Along those lines, of course, you want to have your measuring cups or your food scale. I have a food scale. I don't have it here. For my plan, they want you to measure it in a food cup. For the beginning stages, it was 1/4 of a cup to 1/2 a cup. Now I'm at 1/3 of a cup to 1/2 a cup. And you have to measure everything. And so I did measure everything. And then also these Gladwear 1/2 cup plastic containers, they come in a pack of 8, have been crazy. I use them for everything. I use them now to take all my stuff to work. They're the perfect size. They're just great. You can portion things out. There's all kinds of things. The only bad thing about them is when they're full, they don't stack very well, but whatever, they're a great size. Also, I had purchased these. These have come in handy if I want to bring, so for example, on Father's Day and my dad's birthday, I obviously couldn't eat what they were eating. I was still on purees, so I brought my 1/2 cup of pureed turkey chili and then a little bit of Greek yogurt and a little bit of avocado, and so I was able to keep everything separate. That was really great. Similar if I bring things to work like that. And then I've also found it was very helpful to have my tiny little bowl, because I just like to feel, I don't necessarily like to eat out of these. I like to feel like I'm eating normally. So this fits, you know, a 1/2 cup of puree really great. And then I know it sounds really silly, but I do like to eat off my toddler utensils because it keeps me from eating too big of a bite and it keeps me from eating too quickly. Those are both very bad habits that I have. And have had for years, and these smaller utensils just keep me in check doing that. And then lastly, something that I found came in handy now are these lid savers. You'll notice that mine is a pet food lid saver. They actually both are. I had these because I have cats and I used to feed them the wet food and they would have leftovers. They have them for humans too, but they go over your cans because obviously you're not going to, well, for me, I live alone. So obviously I'm not going to open a can of chili right now and eat the whole can. No way. That's going to take forever. Beans, that kind of thing. So these were really helpful because you can just cover the can back up. Of course, you can also put it into another container and, you know, cover that up or whatever. But these, I just had them and they came out really handy because I could just cover back up the can and use, you know, the next day. So those were things that I found really handy. Oh, also lastly, I had purchased this off of Amazon. It's my pill thing. I showed it once before. It's been very handy because I can just take off my day. Here's today. bring it to work with me, make sure I get in all my pills during the day. I fill it up once a week and then just take it and go. And then actually this is lastly, the last thing that has been most instrumental in helping me through this journey, and I hate to admit it, is my phone. I have an app for water. I have my FitnessPal for tracking my intake for food, and it also does protein and stuff. I have Runkeeper for tracking my walks and my fitness. I use a clock app for tracking when I'm allowed to drink again after I eat my meals. I had an app to remind me when to take my pills, but I'm doing pretty good with that on my own. And then, you know, Facebook, YouTube, all that stuff. It's funny because I kind of hate to admit that because just a quick little story. A couple years ago, I went... a friend of mine gave me his reservation to a week in Yosemite because at the last minute he and his family couldn't go, and it was so last minute I couldn't get anybody who could go with me and get the time off work such short notice. So I ended up going by myself, and had this incredible enlightening time. A couple people came and stopped by and like spent one night or whatever, and I just had this really sort of life-altering time down there. And I came back and I canceled my cable and I got rid of my smartphone, and I reverted back to a flip phone, and I had the flip phone for a whole year, and sort of poo-pooed technology and all this other stuff, and became, you know, the tree-hugging hippie, or sort of allowed myself to be that more, and really loved it. And I probably would still have the flip phone, except that I needed a smartphone for work because I go to all these engagements and stuff like that, and it just was crazy trying to do it with the smartphone. So I sort of hate to admit that I am loving all the apps and everything like that, but it really is instrumental and very useful if you have a smartphone and you can have all those reminders and stuff like that. So those are the things that have been really instrumental in helping me get through all this in this first month, and I would recommend you go out and look into getting some of that stuff. So now on to stuff NSVs. I'm not going to go through all of them, but some of the ones that have been particularly exciting for me this month have been the usual stuff. So obviously, like, people have complimented me and have said that they were able to notice my weight loss. I really hadn't been able to see it at all. My sister-in-law commented that she could totally see it in my face, and I couldn't see it at all. And then I did a side-by-side. Somebody recommended I do a side-by-side comparison of my face pictures. And when I did that, I was like, oh, I guess I do see that. So that happened. And then just this morning, I tried on a dress that I had purchased to wear to a work event last September. I had lost some weight because I was eating paleo and everything, and I had purchased it, but it was still a little too snug. And I put it, and then I gained all that weight back. I had put it on, so there was no way it was going to fit this morning, and it's a little too big, which is kind of a bummer because it's too fancy to just kind of wear to work, and I don't have another engagement coming up that I could wear it to until the fall, in which case I know it's going to be way too big. I might be able to wear it in Texas in August, but I don't know. Other exciting things are things like this ring is a ring that I was given when I was 16, and I've been able to wear it off and on over the years, but I've not been able to wear it for many years, so I'm very excited that I could put it on. I also have an aquamarine ring that I got for my 18th birthday and high school graduation that I've been wearing, so that's very exciting. This bracelet, which is one of my very favorite bracelets, it says on it, "Live the life you love," which I feel is very appropriate for this journey. Has been able to fit, but it was very tight and uncomfortable, and now you can see it's not tight at all, and I have been wearing it almost every single day to remind me of this journey and how amazing it is and how it's allowing me to do so many things, and it's just opening up a whole new world of possibility for me. I can't even get over it. I mean, it's only been a month, and I just can see how the possibilities are just endless of what is coming, and it gets a little overwhelming, honestly. So yesterday I went to go shopping because pretty much for the last year, I've hated all my clothes except for some dresses that I had, but like my shirts I haven't liked. But I didn't want to go buy any kind of clothes. I was thinking of having the surgery, stuff like that, and I just didn't want to buy any clothes. But yesterday, finally, I was like, okay, now I have to, because the clothes that I hated also now don't fit appropriately. So I went to the store, to a department store, kind of like one of the cheaper department stores, figuring I'd just get like a couple dresses and a couple tops. And I went in and realized I have no idea how to shop. So I don't like to shop. I've never really liked to shop. And for the last several years, my idea of shopping was just go buy the largest size, maybe try it on. And, you know, usually it was like black or gray or whatever, some kind of blah sort of color and whatever. I didn't really care because I just didn't like the way anything really looked anyway. And now, so yesterday I was trying on dresses and I was trying on large dresses, and that is crazy because no, and they like fit, but they fit in such a way that like I know, so I was trying on dresses because I'm going on vacation to Colorado in 3 weeks, and the large dresses are probably not going to fit appropriately in 3 weeks. And like, what? I don't even know what to make of that. Now there's sundresses, so they're supposed to be roomy or whatever, but like I'm not going to buy a dress that in 3 weeks is going to be big, and then in 2 months, you know, like in another month or two, month and a half is going to be way too big. But so I like, so then I got a pair of jeans that were 2 sizes like smaller from jeans that I was wearing 2 months ago, and a size that like I might be able to squeeze into once in a while, but like I'd go to the dressing room and it would be, oh, maybe I'm going to be able to pull these up, and but I don't know if they're going to zip. And they went right on and zipped right up, and I like had this weird reaction where I like freaked out and kind of had a panic attack in a weird sort of way and left the store, and did, because I realized I didn't know how to shop. I had all these extra large shirts in there and was like, okay, and then I put them on and realized they didn't fit me right at all, and they were all boxy and I didn't know what to do. But then I had like, I just didn't know what to do, and so I left, and I sent my friend, who is like a total fashionista, text, and I just said, I hope that you know you're gonna have to help me because I don't know how to shop. And of course she was over the moon, and she came over last night and was so excited. And she's really awesome. She some years ago lost almost 80 pounds without surgery, and is so excited to help me shop, and is so excited for me that I have done this for myself. And she just can't wait because she has tried for a very long time to get me to you know, pay more heed to the clothes that I put on my body and stuff like that. So she's really excited to go shopping with me, but it was a really weird shopping experience. However, it was an NSV that I put those jeans on and they zipped right up, and it was an NSV that I put on these size large dresses, and they looked like good, but it weirded me out anyway because I just didn't know what to do. So another thing is I put on my robe was in the dryer and I was getting ready, and so I pulled an old robe out that I like use when I want to dye my hair or whatever, and usually it like ties, but it doesn't tie, you know, it doesn't close right, and it's all weird, and it just closed right up like a normal robe would or whatever. So that was pretty amazing. It just tied right up and no problem, and so that was a good NSV. A friend of mine gave me a hug and made a comment about how small I was when he put his arms around me. So that was really, that was cute. That was a nice one. Oh, something that was really nice was I went to the movies a couple times, and normally when I go to the movies, I always want to sit on the end so that I can kind of lean over to the way that, you know, nobody else is sitting. But this time I was in the middle. There were 4 of us. And I didn't feel like I had to sit like, you know, like this or anything, so that I didn't sort of spill over on the side. I was totally fine. And in fact, at one point I was sitting and I realized that my arms were inside of the armrests along with my body, and so that was really exciting. I didn't have to sit all awkwardly. Same thing, I've gone to a couple concerts and I didn't have to sit all awkwardly, and that's something that I had said in my things I won't miss about being obese video, and so that was really exciting. Other things, you know, my sleep has been a lot better. I wore some wedge heels all day long and I didn't feel like my feet were gonna like fall off. And then I've just been going through my closet and I've been able to pull on some old skirts and stuff like that that haven't fit in a long time, and it's pretty amazing. Like, the clothes is pretty exciting. Maybe not the shopping, and that's just because I just don't like shopping, and now I just don't know how to do shopping. Like, I kind of secretly wish that when I lose another 50 pounds, somebody would call What Not to Wear on me so that they could like fix all of this and show me what to do, because I don't know what to do. So yeah, that's it. And then I guess, you know, that's kind of it for the NSVs. There were more. I didn't always write them down, and I had a whole list of them compiled in my head before I started, but now we're at 21 minutes. Oh my God. So that's about it for the 1 month. It was a good month, and I don't really have a lot of complaints. I just feel like this huge positive energy around me, and it's really exciting. So I hope that I can keep the momentum going. I know there's going to be things, you know, that come and go and ups and downs and everything, but for right now I just feel like this has been, you know, a really positive thing. And I kind of explained it to somebody where I feel like I was moving through my life as though somebody had tied my shoelaces together, and I was kind of stumbling and always had, you know, something keeping me back, and, you know, was getting in my own way. And I feel like this surgery just sort of cut those shoelaces, and now I'm able to move forward freely, and every day is just another full step in this journey, and I'm just, you know, going full steam ahead and taking it as it goes. So I'm in a MyFitnessPal challenge right now, where we're all challenged to log every day for 30 days. And so that just started. I already had logged for 16 days in a row, I think. So I'm good on that one. And then I was in a 26 miles in 26 days challenge, and I did my 26 miles. We haven't hit the 26 days, but I'm still going on that. So that's really exciting. And I'm still doing the 100 days challenge. I keep forgetting to post it on Facebook, but I've been doing it on my Instagram. So that's really exciting. And yeah, I'm just keep going, and I hope you guys are all doing well. And, you know, follow me along on Facebook if you want. That's Shellbell VSG. And yeah, I'm also on Instagram. I'll put a link to that in the info. And I hope everybody's doing well, and just keep trucking along, you guys. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.